Good morning, Breakfast Club. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Breakfast Club. What's going on, everybody? What's happening? I'm in chill mode over here this morning. What y'all listening to? What you doing while you getting up and getting stirred around this morning? Come on in. Let's go. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, RCA, wherever y'all at. What's good? All right, RCA, I got y'all pulled up. Come on and tap in this morning. All right, RCA, I got y'all pulled up. Come on and tap in this morning. All right, RCA, I got y'all pulled up. Come on and tap in this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on? I see y'all coming in. Good morning, good. I see y'all coming in this morning. Good morning, Breakfast Club, on this beautiful and cool Tuesday morning. On this beautiful and cool Tuesday morning. I hear it's supposed to be like 85 degrees today, but it's cool outside right now. So, hey, I'm good with that. I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. It's nice and good. Dr. Lyles, what's happening? What's going on? Man, y'all, it is good to see y'all. Who else we got? Shantae Moore. I see you. What's going on, my friend? Miss Sharina, good morning to you. What's going on? I see y'all. I see you. I got you pulled up on my phone now. So I have to do it on two different devices. Yeah, what's going on this morning? What's good, man? It's good to see y'all. Man, I missed y'all. Good morning, Michelle Aldridge. What's going on? Who else we got in here? Did I have everybody? Kiara, what's going on this morning, God? What's happening? Hey, what's going on? All right, man. I'm telling you, I miss y'all. So I'm excited to be here this morning. And I'm telling you, man, I'm excited about what we're gonna deal with and talk about today. And I'm really just kind of in this place now where I'm kind of getting the hang of this StreamYard thing. And I think I like this. Y'all like it? Let me know. Let me know. Hey, if you in the chat, holler back at me. Let me know if you kind of liking this StreamYard. We can be really versatile. We can do a lot of different things. And so I'm every week I'm learning like little tips and tricks and things that I think that we're gonna incorporate. And they actually just added a feature in test mode. Y'all gonna be excited about this, especially if you're a part of the Reset Coaching Academy, because y'all know how we do it. You can add, and they're adding in music so that you can play music through the stream. Man, look here. Y'all already know when they finish with it, y'all know it's about to be on and popping, because you know how we get it in. We listen to everybody from Ty Tribbett to Dottie Peoples to the Mississippi Mass Choir to all kinds of stuff, man. We had all kind of musical special guests come and join us in the Breakfast Club since the very beginning. And so I'm excited one of the things that I know that at the beginning of this year, and I shared it with you all, RCA. So let me share it with everybody else. So let me give y'all a big good morning, a big old God bless you wherever you're watching us from, whatever platform you're watching us on. To everybody that's watching live, to everybody that's watching the replay, whether you're going to watch it later on today or whether you're going to watch it 15 years from now, a big God bless you and welcome to the Breakfast Club. So one of the things this, at the beginning of this year, we always share with the RCA group is kind of our theme for the year. And so RCA, y'all already know our theme this year was the goal is growth. So that everything that we do, that we want to point it towards getting better, growing stronger, and this is just one of those things. And we've been talking about doing this for a while, and so now we live. My brother Damon Lyles, what's happening, man? Good to see you this morning, man. Appreciate you tapping in. And one of the things that I really want to encourage you all to do when you come in the Breakfast Club, make sure you are taking notes. I think that the things that we talk about, because we talk about such a variety of things, I think the things that we talk about, we always bring in the Bible, as our reference point. It makes for a very good kind of book of encouragement for you to be able to take with you everywhere you go, to be able to go back, to be able to look. And the one thing that I want more than anything is I want you to be able to go back. I want you to be able to find things, study things, and then allow God to speak to you, about your particular space and place that you're in, and how you can now take what we talk about and apply it where you need to apply it in your own life, man. That is big. That is big for me. So I definitely encourage everybody, please, 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 please take notes, because if you came and hung out with us more than once or twice, then you probably know that we just get in here and we just kind of make it do what it do. We just get in and we start flowing, man, and we just have a good time, and we just enjoy hanging out as we getting our day started on Tuesday mornings. And so without further ado, we gonna jump right in. So y'all see on the screen is already our foundation for this morning. Is going to come from Mark chapter 1, verse 32 through 39. I'm going to read it I think I'm going to read it in the New King James this morning. Yeah, I think I'm going to read it in the New King James this morning. And then we're going to kind of go from there. But I have been talking about this for a while. And I know when y'all see that word unbothered, that y'all might think that unbothered somehow means that you don't care, and it just, I ain't gonna be, but nah, we ain't talking about that. So if that's what you think it is, yeah, I'm gonna go on to disappoint you now, because that is not what we're talking about. That is not what we're talking about. But I'm gonna explain a little more in a minute. Let me give you the foundation, and then we're going to dig in. Let's get it. Let's do this. All right, Mark chapter 1, starting at verse 32. At evening, when the sun had set, they brought to him all who were sick, him being Jesus. They brought to him all who were sick and those who were demon possessed. The whole city, man, that's a whole bunch of people. The whole city was gathered together at the door. Then he healed many who were sick with various diseases and cast out many demons. He did not allow the demons to speak because they knew him. Man, let me tell y'all something. Even the devil know Jesus when he see him. And then you wonder why you walk into some spaces and some places, you around some people, and all of a sudden you get this feeling where they just seem like they got a problem with me, and they just, it's like y'all just don't click. Y'all just don't really vibe like that. You get a feeling about them, they get a feeling about you. Yeah, that's because that's the Jesus in you. to Jesus in you, and it'll stir something up, man. And it says that he would not allow the demons to speak because they knew him. Verse 35, now in the morning, having risen a long while before daylight, he went out and departed into a solitary place, a quiet place, a still place, a silent place, a place where there wasn't nobody else around, a place where he could reflect, a place where he could be alone. And there he prayed. And Simon and those who were with him searched for him. When they found him, they said, everyone is looking for you. But he said to them, here we go. Let us go to the next towns, that I may preach there also, because for this purpose I have come forth. And he was preaching in their synagogues throughout all Galilee and casting out demons. So I want to tag for a title to this text this morning: on my stuff and unbothered. On my stuff and I'm unbothered. See, here's the thing. Over the next 4 weeks, we're going to unpack a few things that I've noticed about Jesus. With it being Holy Week, I think it's more than appropriate for us to talk about the man. That this whole week is focused on his sacrifice and the way that he led, the impact that he made on the entire environment. I think that we can glean some things from his life, from his ministry, from his walk, from his character, that we can use and we can begin to apply. And one of the things that I noticed about Jesus is that Jesus lived a life where he was unbothered. We go through life oftentimes full of worry, full of angst, full of anxiety, being anxious about a lot of things, all of the hustle and bustle, and we going from point A to point B, and we running kids back and forth, and our attention is being pulled left, right, forwards, backwards. Our focus is constantly being bombarded and disturbed by images and pictures. We scrolling, we doing all these things, we putting our time and our efforts and our energy into a lot of things that are not fruitful, and they don't cause us to grow. They don't cause us to be edified in any way. And we live this life where we just in a hurry all the time. We live in this life where speed has become the name of the game. I can do more. I can do more. I can do more. And so the one thing that I noticed about Jesus is that Jesus did not live that type of life. Jesus lived the type of life where he was on purpose. He was intentional everywhere he went. Everything he said, everything he did, everybody he encountered, everything that he touched, everybody that he touched, everybody that he healed, everybody that he encouraged, anybody he spoke a word over, it was with the sole purpose to fulfill the mission that he was sent here to complete. I think it says somewhere in the book that he would complete it down to the very last detail. He had work to do. Oh yes, that sounds familiar right there if you in RCA, because that's one of our things. We got work to do. Y'all, we ain't just here to buy time. We ain't just here to take up space. We are not just here to mark the days, but we are here because we have work to do. We need to be on our stuff each and every day. Every opportunity that we get, every situation, we got to be on our stuff. And so the thing that I noticed about Jesus is that despite what was going on around him, Jesus remained on his stuff. And when I thought about it, I said, man, How in the world do you get to a place where, with all of the things that were going on, all of the political and religious upheaval that was going on around Jesus, because y'all do realize that everybody wasn't happy to see him come. And it was not that these different groups did not believe in a Messiah. They believed in a Messiah. They just didn't believe it was him. They didn't believe that he would show up in a manger, wrapped in swaddling clothes, born of a virgin, and they had an issue. But despite all of that, Jesus remained on his stuff. He remained focused on his purpose. He remained focused on his assignment. Jesus was unbothered by the enemies. He had a lot of them. He had the Sadducees, he had the Pharisees, he had the Zealots, he had all of these different people. He had the scribes, he had the religious leaders, he had the people that simply did not believe that he was the Messiah, despite all of the doubt, despite all of the undeniable proofs, despite all of what he did. He even had, betrayal in his midst. If we get down in the story and we get a little closer to the crucifixion and we get to my man Judas, who ends up turning him over. Yeah, we need to go back this week, and I want to challenge and encourage you to read the story from end to end, because I'm telling you, man, it will open your eyes, because it opened mine. And I'm sitting here a few weeks ago and I'm like, man, how in the world do you remain on your stuff in the midst of all of this? Jesus was unbothered by enemies. Jesus was unbothered by doubt. How many accounts are there in the Bible where we read, that Jesus went and he had to tell people, just have faith. He had to tell them, be encouraged. He had to tell them anything is possible to him that believes. Glory to the Son of Man. So he was unbothered by doubt. Y'all do realize that even now in 2023 that he ain't bothered by our doubt. The Bible says in Hebrews that we have not a high priest that does not understand our infirmities, that does not understand how we tick, does not understand what we go through. He knows that sometimes that we don't have as much faith as we probably should, that we pray the prayer and we say, you know what, Lord, I'm believing you, for this, I'm believing you for that. But it's just this little twinge in our side that make us think, ooh, well, Lord, if you don't do it, then I gotta have this over here. So we gonna come back at a later date and we probably gonna have a conversation about what it really looks like to completely turn it over to God, because we'll sing songs that say let God have his way, but then when it comes to letting God have his way, see, here we is in the speed and the rush of things and us trying to just work and figure everything out, man. We began to be bothered. We bother in our mindset. We bother in our spirit. We not settled. We not focused. We not disciplined as we should be. And there are some things that we can do to correct this. So Jesus was not unbothered by doubt then, and he ain't unbothered, and he is unbothered about our doubt now. Jesus was not bothered by our detractors. We use the word haters. I see so much when people always talking to their haters. Spend less time talking to your haters and spend more time talking to the man. Spend less time talking to your haters and spend more time talking to the man. Jesus was not concerned with who who these haters was, because see, in his mind was, see, I came to die for them too. See, that's how you know that he was on his stuff. He wasn't concerned. He wasn't clapping back. He wasn't doing all this stuff. But see, what we do is we turn around. We want to get on Twitter. We want to get all on social media. We want to be on the Facebook. We want to be on the gram. We want to be on TikTok. And we just got to say something back. But see, Jesus was like, nah, we ain't going to really do that. Jesus countered all of this stuff and these detractors, these haters. He just countered them with what the word said. And he even said and went so far as to say, look, I know what y'all challenging me on, but I didn't come to destroy any law. Matter of fact, I'm the fulfillment of it. I'm the one that they've been talking about since the Old Testament. I'm the one that the prophets prophesied about. Oh, yes, I'm him. See, you thought the law was just the word. No, I came to fulfill the law. So he was even unbothered unbothered by his haters. Jesus was unbothered by question. He was unbothered by accusation. He was unbothered by challenge. Man, let me crack in right here. He was unbothered by challenge. Some of us, y'all, we got to know and we got to understand that there are going to be things in life that are going to challenge us. As a matter of fact, if you got a circle, let me say something right here. If you got a circle and you don't have not one single person in your circle that can challenge you on your thought process, that'll challenge you on your mindset, that'll challenge you on what you're doing and what you're saying and how you treating people, and they won't in love help to correct and steer and get you in the place where you need to be, then you ain't got the right people in your circle. And so Jesus was not even bothered by challenge. He didn't mind them asking questions. When they came 3 different times. The Pharisees, the Sadducees, and then the scribes. They all had different questions. One of them came and said, hey, tell us what you think about paying taxes. Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. Oh yeah, y'all see where I'm going. One of them came and they had a question about the resurrection. I think that was the Sadducees. They came and asked about the resurrection. Why? Because that was important to them. That was a thing to them, right? And so at the end of the day, they ended up even asking which commandment is the greatest. So here we go back to the law again. Which commandment is the greatest? And he sat there and he answered with grace, and he answered in such a way that it helped to direct and that it helped to solidify the purpose that he came for. He didn't get bothered in the minutia, in the minor details. He knows, y'all, he knew that they were splitting hairs. He knew that, you know what, y'all see, I see what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to trap and trick me because you need something to accuse me of in order to convict me, in order to discredit me. But at the end of the day, I'm unbothered by all of that, because let's go back to our text. Let us go into the next towns. We on to the next one. I'm on my stuff, that I may preach there also, because for this purpose I have come forth. One of the greatest things and endeavors that we can take, and a journey that we can go on in life, is to find our purpose. It's to find that thing that we supposed to be doing. So when I say I'm on my stuff and I'm unbothered, that is what I mean. I'm on my stuff and I'm unbothered. I know that there is work to do. I have gotten to a place where I'm like, you know what, Lord, if it's for me and the door is supposed to open, then you will make a way for it to open. I have been blessed, and I'm just talking about like my work career, but throughout my whole life, y'all, I have been blessed to be able to do some awesome, some cool things, man. But I know that there's even more work to do. So I just got to admonish and encourage you this morning. Hey, man, listen, woman, listen, get on your stuff. And while you own it, be unbothered about it. You got to tune out the noise. And so this morning, like I said, over the next 4 weeks, we're going to talk about 4 different things that I consider them to be principles. We're going to talk about the principle of silence and solitude, the principle of the Sabbath, the principle of simplicity, and then the principle of slowing down. These were all strategies that we saw Jesus execute on in his life. And I believe that these are the things that he used where he could remain unbothered. Now, I know that he's God, and I know that we are not. But what I want you to see is that the way that he carried himself and some of the practices that he had are absolutely things that we can imitate right now in 2023, that we can imitate and initiate in our own life. And I believe they will make us better, because remember, at the end of the day, the goal is growth. Is it going to be difficult? Is it going to be a challenge for us? Probably so, but it's not undoable. So nothing that I'm going to say to you in the next 4 weeks is going to be impossible. But the one that I really want to lean into for just a few more minutes this morning, I want to lean into. See, I had to give y'all all that background to let you know how we got on this subject of On My Stuff and Unbothered. And then we're going to now unpack, okay, so how do we live the unbothered life? How do we live this life that is free of rush and hurry? How do we live this life where we begin to really experience the fullness of who God is and allowing God and positioning ourselves so God can move in our life, he can move in our families, he can move in our business, he can move in our career? How do we do that? Well, the principle I want to talk about this morning is the principle of silence and solitude. Now, this is something that if you read anything about Jesus, then you know that Jesus oftentimes went away by himself. And in our text, it is no different. It says that now in the morning, having risen a long while before day, he went out and departed to a solitary place. They had to come looking for him. Now, here's the thing I want to tell y'all, and this one ain't even in my notes, but I'm going to give y'all this one. Hey, everybody don't need to have access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Ain't nobody that busy in this entire world on this planet. Nobody needs to have access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, unless they be people that's like super close to you, like your family, your kids and stuff like that. There are people you know, and you're going to have to identify people that need that platinum level of access. But that ain't everybody. See, part of our problem is we have access to all this information, to all of this stuff, all the time, y'all. We got our notifications going off on our phones all time of night. We got our notifications going. Let me say that again. We got notifications going off on our phone all time of night. We did the Twitter beeping, the TikTok beeping. We can't halfway sleep right. Why? Because we've allowed those things access. One of the things that grinds my gear, I think now, let me say this. I am an Apple user. Y'all know, and I ain't gonna crack no Android jokes this morning. I'm an Apple user, but let me say something. Oh, Lord, I like that right there. Access denied. Glory to the Son of Man. We might have to come back. I might preach that. Access denied. See, I'm an Apple user, right? Sorry, y'all. I got distracted for a minute. And that's good. I felt that down in my sha-na-na. So we, as Apple users, have this thing called FaceTime. Of all the things that Apple could have invented, they invented a way for people to have a phone conversation and be looking at each other. Y'all, I'm going to be honest. I'm not a FaceTime fan. I think FaceTime is probably one of my least favorite apps on my iPhone. Here's why. Because FaceTime gives people unlimited access. Watch this. Whatever you see, they see. So wherever you walking around in your house, if you in your car, if you in the store, you are bringing them into your space. And there are times in our life, y'all, where there are some things that everybody don't need to see. Everybody don't need to be able to invade our space like that. Everybody don't need to be in our presence like that. But see, that app allows people to come in. This ain't the same as sitting down on a Zoom call before y'all start. This is not the same as sitting down on a Zoom call for your job, because that's some stuff and you can limit the background. All y'all see in this room is my background. Y'all see this wall. They all see this bookshelf. That's all y'all see. You don't see anything else in here. But see, FaceTime, as I move, you get to see what's going on around me. And I just don't believe that all of that access for everybody is necessary. Now, are there some people in your life that, yeah, they need to be able to get to? So let me preface what I said. I said, don't nobody. Now, there are some people, right? So there are some people, but you know, and you're going to have to identify. So when I say nobody, I'm talking about everybody beyond the obvious people. I ain't talking about you not, cutting off your mama and your daddy and your sisters and brothers and all. I ain't talking about them now. So before y'all get the line on me out here, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about everybody beyond that, right? I'm talking about everybody beyond that. They don't need to have access to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And I believe so. Now, let me give you a little context here. So Jesus had been going throughout Galilee, and notice the text said in 32 that he had healed people, he had healed the sick, he had casted out devils, he had done all of this stuff. And so the first thing that he does when he gets done doing all of that, because he on his stuff now, so when he gets done doing all that, it said that he retreats to a solitary place. He goes to a place by himself. So we know, based on this behavior, we found also in other places in text, we find where Jesus went up on mountains by himself. Jesus went out in the garden by himself, a little closer to the crucifix. He told them, hey, y'all stay here, y'all watch and pray. And then he came back and they were asleep. Yeah, So he used this practice of silence and solitude for a purpose. There were a couple of reasons why we see this showing up over and over and over again. And this is why I believe that Jesus was able to do and keep up the pace that he did. Because remember, y'all, this biblical times, y'all, they didn't have cars. They weren't jumping in Ubers. They were taking horses and camels and walking every single place that they went. And when it say that they went around, these places wasn't like from one end of your street, from your house to the end of your block. We ain't talking about like that. These places had some distance in between them. And so it took a lot to be able to make these travels and these journeys, but he always found the time to go away by himself. Let me tell y'all something. If you're going to live this unbothered life, if I'm going to live this unbothered life where we are not tossed to and fro by every wind, wave, and doctrine, that's what the Bible says. If we're going to live this life where we're able to handle the challenges that we need to handle on a day-to-day basis, y'all, we have to employ this strategy of silence and solitude. And there's a couple of things that this does. So number one, spending time in silence and solitude. Let's talk about this. Luke 5:16 says that Jesus frequently withdrew himself into the wilderness to pray. Into the wilderness to pray. Let me say that again. Into the wilderness to pray. Into a desolate place, into a silent place, into a quiet place so that he could commune with God. How much time are you carving out? Y'all, we get in the car and I'm just going to pray in the car while I'm driving. You can't even fully focus because you got your mind on the road. You worried about what the other car is doing. And if you live down here in Georgia like we do, especially here in Columbus, y'all already know when it starts raining, people get out there on 185 and all of a sudden all kind of stuff start going on out there. People slipping and sliding everywhere. And so your part of your focus is taken away because you have to be focused on what you're doing in that vehicle. And so I want to encourage you that as we talk about this, I want you to remember Jesus withdrew to a solitary place to pray, to commune with God, to communicate with God. How often are you going to that solitary place and you praying over your business? You praying over your employees. You praying over your team. You praying over your family. You praying over your kids. You praying over your spouse. You praying over your going out and coming in. You praying not just for houses and cars, but you communing. And see, part of this communing, this communication, we got to remember, y'all, it's a two-way street. It ain't just us checking off and just sending out to-do lists. Y'all, dog, that ain't what prayer, the power in prayer is for us to sit and be quiet and be still and know that God is going to respond and when we can begin to hear from him. So watch this. So when we spend time in silence and solitude, that silence, number one, it brings relaxation. Silence brings focus. Silence brings focus. Watch this. Psalms 46:10 says, be still and know that I am God. Silence brings folks. See, I'm going to be still and then I can know. Let me be still and then I can know. Let me be still and then I can know. Y'all, listen. In this season, we're going to have to take time and we're going to have to learn to take time to simply be still because silence brings focus. You will be surprised at how much focus and clarity you can gain, y'all, if you just slow down and you tune the noise out. Let me tell y'all something, whether it's early in the morning, whether it's late at night, whether it's in the middle of the day, I need you to add to your everyday routine times where you can do what Jesus did and you can withdraw to a solitary place. I don't care if you at work. Find a break room. Go sit in your car. Do something, but get to a place where you can regain your focus, y'all, because when you can get your focus right, then you will be more productive. Let me say that again. When you can get your focus right, you can be more productive. And so we got to spend time in silence, because silence, it causes us to relax. I want you to do a test. Turn off all the TVs, turn off the radio, turn off your Google, turn off your phone. And I just want you to practice sitting in silence for 5 minutes every day. I want you to just practice and watch. Your body going to start to physically feel different. Your mental state is going to start to change. And then all of a sudden you're going to want 10 minutes. Then you're going to want 15 minutes. Then you're going to want 20 minutes. I'm telling you, y'all, it is something about sitting in the stillness and the quiet. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among nations. I will be exalted in the earth because of stillness. Be is an action word. So we have to be still. When we be, we become, right? So it is a stillness, is a state of mind. So silence brings focus. Number 2, silence and solitude brings preparation. Yeah, let me say it like that. Silence and solitude also brings preparation. It brings preparation. This is what I mean. Let us go into the next towns that I may also preach there also. But what he did before that is he went off into the solitary place. Why? Because we are about to go and we about to get back on our stuff. So silence is a place of preparation. If you want to be more prepared, try spending time in silence and solitude. Here's what the Bible says about preparation. I love this. Proverbs 24:27. Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. Do your planning. Proverbs 24:27. Do your planning and prepare your fields before you build a house. How many of us always say stuff like, man, we building it while we driving? We building the plane while we flying it. But what would happen if we were intentional and we were strategic about using silence and solitude as a place of preparation, as a place not only to get our mind right, but as a place also to receive the download? Watch this. Let me give you the next one. Silence and solitude brings revelation. It brings new perspectives. You see what I did? You see how I connected those two things together? So part of the preparation process is revelation. Now, when I say revelation, that's a fancy way of saying unfolding. It is a unfolding through a dialogue with God. So it is a revealing revelation. It is a revealing, but a revelation comes through your dialogue with God. Now, what was our first one? Our first one was silence brings focus, relaxation. It puts us in a certain mindset, in a certain space. And so now we get to this place where we can receive revelation. Now watch this. Proverbs 2:6. For the Lord gives wisdom from his mouth. Oh yes. Come knowledge and understanding. So we got number 1, relaxation. Then we got preparation. Now we have revelation, knowledge and understanding through dialogue with God. Y'all, maybe it's that we don't know what to do because we ain't spent enough time consulting the one that knows the end from the beginning. Maybe that's why we don't know how to react. Maybe that's why we having that struggle with this certain person or whatever the case might be. Maybe that's the reason. Revelation. That's what silence can do. It brings new perspectives. It gives us, without outside influences, it gives us the opportunity to really think and consider what that next step was. Jesus, he was like, hey, we about to go into the next towns. We've done what we came to do here. We got to get back on our stuff. And so now let me get myself together. Let me make sure that I'm unbothered by worry. Let me make sure I'm not carrying anything from this place that would have an adverse effect on the next place. Oh man, don't miss that. Let me make sure that I'm not carrying anything from here and taking it over there. Baggage, unbothered. So I gotta make sure that my spirit is aligned. I gotta make sure that my mind is aligned so that my work can be aligned. And then if I had to give y'all a fourth one, I would say that silence actually helps you build better relationships. Let me show you what I mean. Because quietly birthed perspectives generally have a positive effect on the relationships that we have. Let me prove it to you. How many of you have ever had a disagreement with a family member, a friend, coworker, whatever the case might be? And then you went back and you thought about your position once you were out of the heat of the moment, once you were, away by yourself. It might have been, once you got home. It might have been where you were at the gym. It might have been while you were walking through the grocery store, but you had time alone to really reflect on what had happened. And you realize, oh man, yeah, I messed that up. I didn't handle that right. I need to go back and I need to clear some things up. Because perspectives that are birthed out of silence, y'all, they'll drive us. And I don't know why I've been on these last several weeks, but I'm gonna say it again. It'll drive us to a place where we'll go fix things. It'll drive us to a place where we'll go apologize, where we'll go say, you know what, I was wrong. I think you were right about this. Let's go back and let's look at this again. It'll make us go back and correct things. Relationships. And so the importance of silence and solitude, again, it brings relaxation, allows us to focus. It brings preparation, right? And that's going to be the place of revelation. And then as an added bonus, when we spent that time in silence, just like Jesus did, we ready to go do people. We ready for the relationship, because that's what Jesus' life was all about, y'all. He was about to go and minister to a new group of people, going to the next town. So he had to be prepared for them, because there were connection that he would need to make in order for them to get what they needed from him, in order for him to deliver what he needed to deliver, in order for them to be able to hear the message that he had for them, specifically for them. Y'all, it's time for us to get on our stuff and be unbothered while we're doing it. It's time for us to get back to the habit of silence and solitude and use it as a growth principle to help make us better, to help build our self-awareness, to help build our focus, to help shore up our discipline. All right, y'all, that's the Breakfast Club. I hope y'all got something out of this, man. I know I did. Sorry we went a little bit longer than usual, but hey, this is the first one, and we had to kind of lay a lot of foundation to make sure that we are ready and prepared to dig in over the next several weeks. So remember, 4-part series. Share the link with somebody, share the broadcast with somebody, invite a family member, invite a friend, tell somebody to tell somebody. Y'all take care of yourself, take care of your family. And if you've been around here for more than 2 or 3 broadcasts, then you already know how we about to end this. So come on and say it with me. You can't get strong unless you lift heavy stuff. Y'all be blessed. Be encouraged. See y'all next time.